President Buhari receives Police Service Commission annual report. INEC unites with security agencies to deliver peaceful election. Plus, preparations, expectations ahead of Christmas. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Panorama, reaching you live from the NTA Enugu Network Center. I am Comfort Aim. Remember, you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at www.ntang.live and all our social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. President Buhari says the topmost priority accorded the welfare and well-being of police officers by his administration is a deliberate attempt to enhancing the nation's internal security for effective management of the country. The president stated this while granting audience to acting chairman and commissioner of the Police Service Commission, State House correspondent Adamu Sambu has the details.
The acting chairman and management of the Police Service Commission were in the State House to present the Commission's 2021 annual report as well as its 2023 budget proposal. This is to keep the president abreast of the progress, problems, and challenges of the Commission. The Police Service Commission is a sole statutory body responsible for the appointment, promotion, dismissal, and exercise of disciplinary control over persons holding or aspiring to hold offices in the Nigeria Police Force. These functions, the acting chairman of the commission, Clara Ogumbi, says are being carried out conscientiously and in accordance with the rule of law, which President Buhari upholds at all times. While appreciating the president for his magnanimous disposition to the commission, Justice Ogumbi said police officers in Nigeria are now far better off in terms of their welfare, while the headquarters of the commission has been completed and awaiting inauguration.
So, sir, we are so much grateful and we appreciate all the efforts you are making in enhancing and making available the welfare of the current police officers. You put smiles on their faces, and sir, we are also appreciating you for honoring the police officer who was very honest by giving him national honors, and we in turn, we have also promoted him, and this will go a long way towards ensuring that other officers will follow suit.
Justice Ogumbi, however, said inadequate funding has continued to stare the commission in the face.
It is our humble request that our budget should be made among the first line charge in budget allocation. This will go a long way to release the burden of paucity of funds, which has been a bottleneck on the effectiveness of the commission.
President Muhammadu Buhari assured his guests that the reports will be carefully studied for appropriate action. The federal government, he promised, will continue to do its best within the limits of resources and the law towards protecting lives and property of Nigerians. And one of the most effective ways towards achieving this objective, the president said, is adequate care and support to officers and men of the Nigeria Police and other security services.
I think in the space of time and resources, I think we have done our best. History will decide whether our best is good enough.
This is the fifth time in the series the management of the Police Service Commission will be submitting similar reports to the President. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And Vice President Professor Yemi Osibanjo calls for the adoption of independent but creative sources of funding that includes endowment funds to complement budgetary allocation to universities. Professor Osibanjo in audience with a delegation from the Olabisi Onabanjo University OOU notes that the future of public university education hinges on adoption a business model administered by serious-minded people. Vice Chancellor of the university, Professor Abula, appreciated the VP's selfless contribution to the growth of the university as a pioneer lecturer in the Faculty of Law, building it from the scratch. His mentorship and the entrenchment of a culture of research at the institution. Building a vibrant economy begins largely with the quality of the human capital development. This is why the Federal University and the Nigerian Television Authority in Kebbi State have agreed to work together to improve the quality of lives in the state and Nigeria as a whole. Abdullahi Umar Ilayu has the details.
At all levels and at different administrations have no doubt invested so much in the development of the people of this state. But this does not seem to reflect so much in the lives of the people of Kebbi State. It is this in mind that the Federal University and the NTA in Birnin Kebbi agreed to run programs that will have direct impact on human development while the NTA collaborates by sensitization.
Take advantage of our expertise. Take advantage of our reach. Take advantage of our patriotism to propagate whatever you feel the public should know about the Federal University Birnin Kebbi.
NTA generally has been a station to beat, especially in terms of its coverage of news, in terms of its readiness, to project the good image of the country within and without the country. And I've seen you doing this over several decades. Most of us who grew up had no idea about any other station in this country besides the Nigerian television. So
the meeting of both federal government bodies also brought to forth the need to be gender sensitive without bias to any cultural or religious affiliations. Abdullah Umar Ilalu, NTA News.
Federal civil service clubs located across the country are to be renovated or built where necessary, while civil servants are to seek activities that will promote peace, unity and tolerance for a better Nigeria. Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Folashade Yemi Isan, said this at the inauguration of a newly built Federal Civil Service Club in Yola, Adamawa State. Haman Jabani reports.
The Federal Civil Service clubs aim at rewarding civil servants who work very hard towards ensuring the growth and development of the nation, need good facilities as well as a conducive environment to relax and network, while giving civil servants a sense of pride and comradeship.
The place has a lot to offer. There is a restaurant, we have been promised that games and other things will be brought here. So I believe civil servants now will have a place that they will come and relax after he had this job.
I was here before, the place was not welcoming at all, and now it's very welcoming.
It's part of welfare. After office hours, all civil servants will be here and socialize and interact.
The whole federation, there is no state that has a befitting structure like ours, and kudos to head of service.
The head of the Civil Service of the Federation said the Federal Civil Service clubs located in various parts of the country are being renovated due to the importance the federal government and the office of the head of the Civil Service of the Federation attaches to the welfare of civil servants.
If we're able to maintain this standard, we'll be able to attract a lot of good things. That's why I also think that don't let this place become a place where we will not be proud of. It's absolutely impossible.
Permanent Secretary, Welfare Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation said the rebuilding of the clubs marks the reawakening of supervisory role of the Office of the Head of the Civil Service, and the Federal Civil Service clubs nationwide now have a budget, while calling for innovation and steps to take ownership of the project, maintaining as well as sustaining it. The head of the Civil Service of the Federation interacted with federal civil servants in the state, where issues bordering on delayed death benefit of deceased civil servants, review of pension fund administrators for easy accessibility, salary increment, promotion areas, affordable housing for civil servants, among other issues were discussed. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
Independent National Electoral Commission says it is not reneging on the decision to use the bi-modal voter registration system for seamless conduct of the 2023 general elections. The Cross River State Resident Electoral Commissioner, Professor Gabriel Oyomere, who said this during an Agency Committee on Security meeting, believes the modern technology is crucial to achieving a credible and transparent polls. Justina Etim reports.
Barely 2 months to the conduct of the anticipated 2023 general elections, the Independent National Electoral Commission has continued to map out modalities to ensure a peaceful, transparent and credible polls, and this meeting with security agencies is one of such.
The commission
Worried about the low turnout of registered voters for the collection of permanent voter cards, the Resident Electoral Commission, the electoral umpire, is engaging religious and traditional leaders to facilitate sensitization and collection.
Rather than staying in the office at the local and waiting for people to come and collect the fees, they can work together with the leaders of the community by going to this community and distributing the fees.
The Independent National Electoral Commission advises political parties and supporters to avoid hate speech, bitterness and rancor while politicking. In Calabar, Justina Itam, NTA News.
The Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, has inaugurated 76 mobile police stations in Igbo-Etiti local government area of Enugu State. The state-of-the-art facility constructed by the state government is to improve security of lives and property of residents of Enugu State. Chika Ugu has the details.
Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi explained that the facility at Ekwebe along Ugwogwo-Nike Opi Nsukka Road, with administrative quarters, canteen, barracks among other structures, was constructed to improve on officers' welfare for effective discharge of their duty. The governor, who appreciated the IGP's security strategy in the country, maintained that the state government will not relent in its efforts in maintaining Enugu State's status as one of the most peaceful states in the country.
76 police mobile force were the second to establish in Enugu State. Several decades after the establishment of a third police mobile force for the the first police mobile force in Kaduna State and the second mobile police force in Lagos State. The project is one of the several interventions the state has made in order to improve the security of lives and property of all residents as well as visitors in the state.
Inaugurating the facility, the Inspector General of Police commended the governor for his continuous assistance to the police in ensuring security and maintenance of law and order in the state. He promised to complement the state government's efforts with security logistics.
I'm highly delighted. I'm very, very happy that my men will work in a place where they will have better facilities to discharge their duties accordingly.
Some government functionaries and traditional rulers applauded the governor, assuring residents that Enugu State will continue to be peaceful. Power generating sets, vehicles and motorcycles were all the donations by the governor to encourage the police in its fight against crime. In Enugu, Chika Ugu, NTA News.
Taking a break here, Panorama continues in a moment. Do join us again.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
End of the last week of every year is very significant in Christendom. This is because of the Christmas celebrations, while it is basically about the birth of Jesus Christ, the Savior of mankind. James Oprekocha takes a look at how best to celebrate Christmas.
Like the popular saying, the reason for the season. Reasons differ to different people. For the church, the reason is the birth of Jesus Christ, which is actually the beginning of the salvation of man according to the Christian faith. While many see this period as a time to make merriment, relax and share with friends, others see it as a time to share whatever they have with the less privileged in the society.
It's all about giving. So I have to give to the people that are poor. Okay. So I'm richer than. I have to assist them. Okay. And make sure they feed well as me.
Spread love to yourself, your family, and your loved ones.
It is indeed a time of happiness, love, and sharing. This is why many go the extra mile to prepare for it. And where best to spend Christmas? Many prefer the rural villages, as they like to catch up with relations, friends, and age mates.
There is an ambience in the village which reminds of a lot of things. A lot of old friends, a lot of your brothers, your mothers, your sisters, all the people that stayed around you when you were growing up. So
why do you prefer the village?
Because, you get to meet people you have not met in a while, and then the reunion.
For me, I'm a fashion designer, so I do go on. I would like to spend in both ways, because I do go to the village and still come back just for my work. Maybe because I'm a natural person in the village, yeah.
While many acknowledge that 2022 was indeed a tough year, they however say that for the fact that they are alive calls for celebrations, considering those that have died within the year 2022. Whichever way one prefers to celebrate Christmas, love is in the air. From Enugu, James Oprekocha, NTA News.
That reports on preparations and expectations ahead of Christmas forms a background for discussion on today's panorama. And with me in the studio to expand the discourse is Right Reverend Dr. John Eze, a Methodist Bishop of Nsukka Ehamufu Diocese. So, welcome to Panorama.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
All right, let's begin by tracing the historical background of Christmas.
Okay, well, once again, viewers, thank you for watching. If we are to trace the origin of Christmas, that would be dated back in 14th century, and this is stemmed up from two main religions that has to do with the pagan and the Roman culture that actually promulgated the concept of Christmas. And then on this, they have two main celebrations which they do during the Christmas, or what we call December period. One has to do with the celebration of the god of their culture, and secondly, the one that fell in on the 21st of December is the one called the god of the sun celebration, which is 25th of December. That is in times of historical background of Christmas.
Thank you very much. Yuletide usually comes with rush, tension, and high expectations to meet up. And the question is, why do immoralities abound during this period?
I think that is a loss of focus because people try to set the cat before the horse, and not just only that, losing a kind of focus of what Christmas represents for. We must first of all understand the purpose of the celebration. What are we celebrating? How do we get here? This has to do with the sacrificial love fully expressed by God himself, as it is depicted in the book of John chapter 3 verse 16, that for God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. And so what was the mission of Jesus Christ coming to the earth? His mission is for redemption, to redeem man from the bondage of sin and corruption. And so if we are going to celebrate the Christmas for which God gave his only son to die for us and to come for our redemption, I think we should be able to understand exactly what it represents and what it stands for. There shouldn't be any reason for immoral expression during the Christmas period. It should be a time of sober reflection where we ponder about the sacrifice and the reason for which Jesus came into the earth.
And what is expected from all of us?
Well, the expectation at this point in time is for us to look up to God, not just looking up to God, but for us to understand, like I said, the mission for which Christ came into the world, which we are celebrating. So the church or the entire world at this moment should appreciate that love that God gave to us, and then living right, show love to one another. Not just showing love to one another. It shouldn't be something you just talk, but there should be a kind of a practical aspect of faith. Seeing those people who are less privileged, ability to show them love, just as we are planning as a church. By God's grace, in 2 days from now, we are going to gather people where we are going to attend to those who are less privileged and those who are homeless, those who are abandoned on the street. So it should be a time where the world should show the same love, duplicate the same love which was given to us by God via his son.
Thank you very much. So your lessons from the annual event.
Well, the lessons are so much to learn. One, we've seen not just the sermons people have preached in the past, there have been sermons and sermons as it contains at this period of celebration, but we should also look back, because we can't talk about the future without talking about the present now, and then the things that we have done in the past. Let's reflect back where we have got it wrong, the things we were unable to do well in the past, like the issue of people trying to reap where they did not sow, taking advantage of people who are traveling, the robbery and all kinds of things. And so we should desist from that and then try to live right, make sure that we live to the point where God will be pleased with us, to say, indeed, we have satisfied on what philosophers call scrupulous conscience, that your conscience is pleased by God, that you are doing the right thing.
Thank you very much. Lastly, your message for Nigerians, especially with the upcoming general elections after the New Year celebrations.
Well, my message to the Nigerian people and the world at large is that at this moment we should be prayerful. We should take advantage of this season to lift up flag of intercessory and to call on God sincerely, not a prayer done in personality augmentation or hypocritical prayer, but let's bow our knees. If there is ever a time in the history of our nation, this is the time that we need to pray and call unto God. One, to provide leadership that will look up to God for leadership, not just people that will come on the selfishness of their own in order to manipulate people, make all kinds of promises. At the end of it, we go back to where we are. Nigeria at the moment is bleeding, and everybody can testify to it, and there's no how we can compromise come 2023 without being honest to ourselves, for God to give us leadership, number one, that have the fear of God, leadership that also that could demonstrate compassion on the people. Nigerian people are suffering at the moment, and it's so vivid for everybody to see. So for the election, we are praying that God will give us leadership that will fear God, and this is the time we need to prepare ourselves for it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We have been speaking with Reverend Dr. John Eze. He is a Methodist Bishop of Nsukka Ehamofo Diocese. Compliment of the season once again, sir.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on Panorama. Moving on, 40 trainees have graduated from the Scientific Equipment Development Institute, SEDI, Enugu Skill Acquisition and Youth Empowerment Program. Chika Ugu reports that beneficiaries of the program were drawn from various states in the country. All right, coming up next is Sports Tidbits.
The Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development has officially released the final medal table of the just concluded 21st National Sports Festival, which held in Asaba. Host Delta State won with 291 gold medals, 171 silver and 129 bronze, for a total of 591 medals. Bayelsa State came in second with 104 gold, 101 silver and 80 bronze, for a total of 285 medals, while Edo, Oyo and Lagos states complete the top 5 on the log.
We want to clarify issues that are going on concerning the medals table of the 21st National Sport Festival held in the Asaba Delta State. Of all the states, 1 to 6 still remains, but in some areas there was a little bit of disparity in the medals. Why? Because of double entry of athletes.
The 2022-2023 Nigeria Professional Football League season kicks off January 8, 2023 after a resolution between the Interim Management Committee IMC of the league and club owners in Abuja, with the draw for the new season set to hold on December 28. Away from Nigeria, the International Olympic Committee has raised the possibility of boxing being excluded from the 2024 Paris Games, saying its Russian-led world body showed it had no real interest in the sport or its athletes. The International Boxing Association was stripped of involvement in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, and boxing is not on the initial program for the 2028 Los Angeles Games, pending reforms demanded by the IOC. With sports updates, Ayodeji, Makinde, NTA News.
NTA Enugu Network Center. We thank you so much for joining us. Remember to join the NTA as we stand against rape and rapists. Do have a lovely day and compliment of the season. I am Comfort Ayin.